that that hop should take place as the ball is going into the hitting zone. Now, what it allows us to do for our guys is it allows them to stay relaxed a little bit longer, okay? Mentally kind of almost take a break, maybe analyze what's their pre-pitch kind of preparation and anticipation, and then it allows them to take from a relaxed position to get into a ready position, and they're not stuck in this ready position for too long. Okay? It also allows for more movement, for a quicker, more explosive first step, which is the most important step as an infielder. One of the things we work a lot on is our crossover step. So our first step being flat. Okay? Our brains and our eyes, the first thing we recognize when the ball gets hit is direction, left or right. Okay? So it's the first thing we recognize is, do I have to go this way or this way? So we want them starting in that direction, and then usually by their second step is when they start to analyze how hard the ball is hit. So they see left or right, and then they see how hard after that. A lot of younger guys will wait till they get both information before they step. You see it's in this direction, but they don't know how hard it is, so then they wait, and then a lot of times it's too late. So we have this set up to help them remember that we want our first step to be as flat as possible and directional. So we always start with that hop again. Any of our infield drills, we always start with a hop. I'm not gonna roll a ball or hit a fungo until I see that hop from them. So they'll step from out of the circle, they'll step in, they'll hop, and then from here we're working on a direction, right or left. It keeps them from going here, and it keeps them from going back too far. We want that first step flat, and we want their hips cleared, okay? It's a couple different ways. It's called a crossover step from here, where they roll over, crossover. Or a lot of guys will do a little baby drop step, which is okay as well. Here, and they'll drop step, and that's what clears their hips before they go, okay? So we'll have them, and again, I'll start by rolling. Okay? We'll start by rolling a few, and then after I can back up and hit some. So we'll work on a couple of these crossover steps. Okay. So, yeah, we're gonna go to our right first. Good. And then square up. Good. So again, the hips turn, shoulders turn as much as can, keeping their eyes on there. Go get squared up to it. Go and get in front of it. Go and get in front of it. Yep. Quick. Explode. Explode and get over there. Good. One more time. To our right. Right. Good. Good. Square it up. Direction. Get their hips turned. Square up. Go through it. To our left. Get there. Good. You turn and then square up. Good. One more time. And after we go a little bit each way, a lot of times we'll surprise them. So again, they have to have that anticipation, stay on their toes, and then I won't tell them if we're going right or left. They have to read it. Good. Okay. So that's our crossover step. Again, we're using cones just kind of as a guide, a reminder on how flat their first step needs to be. From here, another one we use with cones to kind of guide their footwork is we call it a C route. For me, I think it's the most difficult play for a little leaguer all the way up into high school and even into college, and then the pros get obviously a little bit better at it. But this is one of the most difficult plays for an infielder, especially on the left side of the infield. It's the ball that gets hit to your right, that it's not really a backhand, it's not a slow roller, but it takes us a long way that's going to allow me to have to make a further throw. So I need my feet, my balance, my momentum all around the baseball enough to then help me get the ball across the diamond on a long throw. So kind of turns into what it looks like is a C route. So they're starting, they're going to go to their right, and then by the time they catch it and throw it, it's going to make a full C. So it's kind of just getting around the ball and all that. And again, we want to help guide them on their route through here. So the first few times what we'll do is we'll just start with the baseball on the ground right here. So we'll start with the ball on the ground. They're going to start here again with their hop, and they're going to work as quick as they can around the curve, getting their left shoulder down, and then get into their fielding position. have to chop, that's okay, and then go right, left into picking up the baseball, and then they'll hand it to me. I'll put it down again. Okay? Go ahead. Closer, 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 closer. Here you go. Stay close to the cones. Stay close to the cones. Short, good. Good. So again, we can transition from setting the balls there for them to pick up into rolling them, and depending on how good your fungo skills are, and whether you can keep them in that little tunnel and fit some fungos to them as well. Okay. Next one we use the cones for is it's a 3-cone drill for their approach. So they'll start at 1. Again, we'll have 3 baseballs down. It's up to you guys go through this. Again, we're working on our approach to 3 different ground balls. Again, then every drill starts with a hop, and then again, we want to keep their eye level down as low as we can throughout the entire process, from their pre-pitch to their approach to their fielding to their throwing. So we're just going to go to that one, pick it up, yep, back. Yep. No, just normal. Just work around just like that. Yep. Yep. Good. Yep. Good. Back to the center. Yep. Good. Okay. So again, go ahead. So again, they just got 3 ground balls in 3 different directions in about 3 seconds. Those are my favorite footwork drills, especially crossover steps, C route, and then a 3-cone drill. Again, where they're going to get a lot of reps in a short amount of time. Okay. Last one I like to use cones for is right over here. I'll start at that first one. Tyler, we'll go about halfway and catch a couple of these. Just like playing football. Talking again about the transition from fielding position into throwing position, kids have so much trouble with. We use this one. It's a 3-cone and it's a walk through your throw drill. So it gives them a guide. We want them to follow their throw, or we call it walking through your throws. We like to say stay low to throw a lot. Stay low to throw so that they stay down and through the baseball as much as they can. So we'll start them. The ball starts in their glove. Start at this first cone, they'll go from their fielding position, they work through it, they go right, left, throw, and then they're going to follow their throw, again giving them a guide, getting all the way to that 3rd cone as much as they can. Okay, go ahead, we're starting fielding position, yep, go forward. Good, throw it from that first. Yep, throw it. Good, there you go. Walk through it. Good. Okay, toss it one shot. So that's a quick, easy one. Set up 3 cones. Could allow them. I give them 3 real options as far as their footwork goes. We have step in front. So from here, they step in front with their right foot. That's a step in front. We give them a replace, so they can go catch, replace their feet, and throw. Or we call it a line and attack. So they'll go from here. They'll get lined up, right, left, and then an extra shuffle to attack. So we align and then attack. So all 3 of those, okay, can be used on different ground balls, different tempo ground balls, balls that take different hops, different base runners. So there's really kind of no one way is the only way we want them to step with their feet, because then it causes confusion as base runners are running faster or slower, or hops are different, they throw us off our rhythm. So we want them to work on all 3 as much as possible. Again, step in front, replace, or align and attack. Okay, those are the big ones. As far as throwing mechanics, I didn't put it on there. Coach, you wanted me to talk about that one, huh?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
You got 4 minutes.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need. So it's kind of my big, I guess my pet peeve from me being around baseball for however long I've been around it. There's this new thing over the last 10 to 15 years called the Cobra. Anybody know what the Cobra is? The throw? Okay. Yeah, kind of. Okay, so the Cobra is when you get the baseball up, and for little guys, and they turn the ball away from their body. Okay, and they want to get the idea is to get their fingers on top. All right. This for me in the last 10 to 15 years is one of the things I've seen the most kids have arm injuries from, like legitimate arm injuries. I can't throw. I have shoulder pain. What's wrong? And the first thing I go to is like, well, let me see how you hold the ball in this position, and they do this one. Okay, I'll show you really quickly why. If I'm going to throw the baseball, the coach over here, a lot of guys they teach the Cobras to do this and then turn the baseball away from their target. Okay, and we want to use our big muscles to throw the baseball, core, shoulders, hips, all that. And when we turn, if I have a Cobra position, if I turn to throw the baseball is now on the outside of my body still. Okay, so you're asking a little guy, okay, that he has to have a lot of feel from his elbow to his fingertips, and he not only has to turn his body, but now he has to turn his wrist and fingers and then pull down. Okay? Well, this movement from here to here causes a lot of issues. Okay, cause a lot of elbow issues because a lot of kids, when they turn, drop their elbow, which is kind of the idea of what trying to get away from it. Okay, but when they have to turn, they drop. Or a lot of kids throw cutters and sliders a lot because they over-rotate their wrist and throw a lot of cutters. Okay? Another thing is they get the ball way too far behind them when they do that. It causes a lot of tension in their shoulder and all these things. Again, big kind of pet peeve I've seen a lot of kids have trouble with. So we talk a lot more about taking the baseball to your ear as a good throwing motion. You guys call it like a power V, whatever you want to call it, but the way the proper mechanics should be is when I catch it, throw it, the baseball should be next to my ear. Okay? What this does now is it keeps my hand behind the baseball for a lot longer. So if I'm going to use those big muscles again in this throwing position, the ball is closer to my head, I have a better feel for it, and now as I turn my shoulders, my hand's now behind the baseball where I have to, and I'm not having to pronate or supinate or turn or anything else, anything extra. I just have to do this, and then I can finish. Okay? That's a really big one as far as throwing in general that we like to talk with our infielders is we want to get the baseball to our ear as much as possible and stay away from the Cobra, and because then again, you're dragging the baseball from behind you and all these different things. Okay. How much time I got? I got 1 minute, 2 minutes?
One or 2 minutes.
Oh, 1 or 2 minutes?
Whatever
Okay.
you got, man.
Last thing I'm going to show you is our rotating box drill. Okay. Let's go 4 spots. Go shortstop, second baseman. So one of the things we have it's kind of one of our hurdles is having so many players and so few of us. Okay, so we try and get them to move, catch, throw as much as possible, as many times as possible on their own without me having to do all the feeding and fungoing and all that. So this one allows them to do kind of all these different things, especially because they're middle infielders. We like them to know how to play short and second both. So we do a lot of double play drills. We use this rotating box drill. Allows them to kind of move, keep moving. We get a lot of reps, and it gets them in the hang of following their throw, which is another one that's real important. So we really just start with a baseball there. He's going to roll a ground ball to here. He's going to feed. He's going to turn it, throw it to him, and then they're all going to follow their throw. And by the time this is done, we have 4 new guys in another position. Okay. Good, that's good. So usually we do it a lot faster than that. You nervous? So again, it's good. That's the minimum amount of guys you can have. we try to have 2 guys at each spot, so we have 8 guys doing that. And again, you can stop them and have them be more intentional on where they throw the baseball. We can have ground balls up the middle, ground balls to their backhand, and all that, and just have them rotate, and they're always just follow the ball, follow the ball, follow the ball, follow the ball. So. Yes.
So on second, like I coach 11 and 12.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of the second basemen, since they're tagging the bag and they want to hurry up and release it, they'll let go of the ball here, which makes the ball tail out. How would you correct them from touching the bag and then just letting it go out here?
And then let it go. Well, the footwork that we try and really kind of help them with is we talk a lot about left, right, left, left, right, left, where they're turning short, like 6-4-3 or 4-6 or either way. And this right foot's the most important foot. And they really have to push off and generate that momentum towards the target, which will get them away from falling back. So start with the left foot on the base, and then they have 3 ways they can go. They can go this way, or this way. And all 3, they have to push and go. So we'll have them sometimes exaggerate it, so that we'll let them catch it, and then take a big push, and then because they have to push so far, they have to generate force off their right leg to then change the direction. Okay, that's something we do. And then again, just getting them out left, right, and left and change it. They're naturally going to throw it a little bit more sidearm because it's going to be quicker, and we want them to throw double plays from where they catch it, preferably. So part of it is they need to use their legs more and get directional, but they also need to know that it is going to naturally run a little bit every time. So their target needs to be a little different for them. So yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
Finishing your throw. What would you recommend? You like snap your throw out? You just how would you get an infield
like
throw?
Just your normal throws.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about reaching to your target as much as possible, because we try and remind them, and we want to use their legs to throw as much as possible. And the only thing we really talk about a lot of is getting the ball to their ear, and then their legs are going to get the baseball across the diamond. If their legs get the ball across the diamond, what tends to happen is they'll get this, and they'll throw, and they'll follow through their throw, and their arm will naturally kind of just reach out. But staying away from getting over here or anything like that. And staying low is another thing. Staying low will keep them low on their legs to help them stay through. Is one thing that happens a lot, again, is when they stand up, when they straighten their front leg, is when they stop and then they can't follow their throw. So if they're staying low, they're going to keep a soft front leg to go here and then walk through their throw. Anything else? All right, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.